What what is up, YouTube? It's your girl, Aliza, and I'm back with another video. So this video or live stream, because it is live, but if no one watches this while it's being recorded live, then it's a video. So that's why I say video. This is going to be super hard to talk about since it recently happened like 3 weeks ago. It's still like fresh in everyone's mind, and we're all still grieving. And you know, 4 or 5 months ago, I decided to take a break from YouTube so that I could be there for my grandfather because he was very sick. He had cancer, and his cancer had metastasized, meaning that it had spread. It was originally esophageal, and it ended up spreading into other parts of his body. Um, and he went from stage 3 to stage 4. And it was a very hard battle. Not even just a sickness, not everyone in the family gets along. So there was lots of fights, very just, it was really hard. And then I quit YouTube for a while because people wanted to just do dumb stuff, try to fight me, try to threaten me. I'm like, you know what? I don't have time for this. Like, my grandfather is dying. I don't have time for this. So I quit YouTube. And what's today's date? The 25th, I think. Well, September 28th was probably one of the hardest days of my life. So let me just explain everything that happened before I explain to you what happened on the 28th of September and why I don't know if I'm going to be able to do YouTube because I just can't process everything the same. So my grandfather, as he got sicker and sicker, we didn't want him at his house anymore because my grandma, my nanny, she can take care of him, but she's weak herself. And, he was basically bedridden. So he needed someone to help him change his clothes, his diapers. Before he was able to walk to the bathroom, and he wasn't able to do that anymore. So he was basically bedridden. So we brought him here. And for the longest time, he stayed in my room, which is back there. I just realized that, my room. And then finally, his hospital bed came, and we put it here. The hospital bed's not here because the hospice place took it. So I do actually have like a picture on my phone that I took of him and laying in his hospital bed in that room. So if you think I'm lying, I'll show it to you. So he was laying in his hospital bed, and he was in a sleep state. Like we all kind of knew his time was coming, but we just didn't want to talk about it. We didn't want to So it was like the Saturday before something was happening. Oh, it was one of my nieces or nephew's birthday party. So everybody was coming into town, not only to see my nana, but to go to her party. So we had lots of visitors this day. And my aunt tends to be a show off when she's around like family. She tries to like show off to her family that she's a good mom when, I don't know. She decided, I'm not going to say anything because that's not who I am. I'm done with drama. I don't want to fight. So, whatever happens. I'm not trying to sit here and cause an argument because I already know, shit happens. But she asked me and Lana to go to the store to get some juice. Why she couldn't drive to the store, I don't know. But she asked us to go to the store and get some juice and stuff. So we were just like, okay, like, let's go. So me and Lana got an Uber or Lyft, whatever, and we went to the store. And while I was at the store, I started getting this gut feeling. And it was not a good feeling. It was like a gut feeling that I had to be home. I wanted to go home so bad. And so finally, we get into our Uber or Lyft, whatever, and we go home. And after I load all the groceries into the kitchen, I go back into this room to go check up on Nana to see how he's doing. And that's when I noticed it. Nana was very skinny because of his cancer. He didn't eat a lot, and he did have a feeding tube, but Nana didn't want to do any more treatment. So me and my mom, we respect him, And so we're not going to make him do something he doesn't want to do. So he wasn't on the feeding tube anymore. She went to the doctors and told the doctor what he said. And, he was there. He was present for all the appointments. You can't go to a doctor and talk for somebody else unless he's there. At the time, we didn't have power of attorney and all that shit, So he was there. He said it himself. I'm tired of all this. So this day, I went into the room. And at first I thought I was tripping because he's skinny enough that you can tell when he's not breathing. Like, that's how skinny he was. His chest was not moving and he was just laying there with his mouth open. And I'm like, hi, Nana, how you doing? No response. Now, Nana, at this point, he was in a sleep state, so he didn't respond anyway, but I still talked to him. I still kind of, just to make sure that he's alive, I still talk to him and I clean his eyes and I moisten his mouth. We have little mouth, I don't know what they're called. They're like these sponges on a stick that you dip in water. They give it to you in the hospital and you can put it in his mouth and then swab it. And that's how we kept his mouth moist. So that's what I did. I'm like, Nana, and then my cousin came in and I said, Lana, am I tripping? Does Nana look like he's breathing? And she goes, no, you're not tripping. And I touched his hand and it was cold. And I didn't want to believe it. I did not want to believe it. And so I freaked out and I ran and I'm like, Nana's not breathing. Because I had my cousin and my aunt and I don't know who she is in the kitchen. I'm like, Nana's not breathing, and I ran to my mom's room. I'm like, Nana's not breathing. So we all came into the room and my mom, who was a nurse, went up to Nana and touched his hands and pronounced him dead. And once it finally hit me, it was, so hard. And it still hurts to even think about it. And I have like PTSD from that day, because what had happened that I haven't told you guys yet was that before I told everyone, before my cousin came in, Nana had he waited for me to come home and I saw his last breath. So when my mom pronounced him dead, it was just like, I felt like a failure in a way because we had all this stuff in his room. I mean, this room looked like a hospital. He had oxygen machines, oxygen cylinders. He had all this medicine. Like, I felt like we failed because they gave us all this stuff. I'm like, he's not breathing. Should we put him on oxygen? And my mom's like, no, like, if it's his time, it's his time. You can't make him stay. And I didn't want to believe it, Yes, I'm over 18. Anyway, back to my story. Because this isn't going to be a long story. I am going to end this real quick because I have shit to do and my boyfriend's coming over. So, yeah. Anyway, so I called my nanny and I told her Nana's gone and I was just crying. And then I called my dad and told him that Nana passed. And he actually came over to kind of comfort me. And then I told my boyfriend, but at the time, my boyfriend was at work and my boyfriend works at a yacht club. And he had to stay the night. Is your boyfriend over 18? Yes, I'm not a fucking pedophile. So, So then after I told Nani, she was at my cousin's birthday party, my niece's birthday party, niece or nephew's birthday party. I don't know whose it was. I think it was Dara's. And she told everybody there. So everybody stopped what they were doing and they came over. In my family, when someone dies, the whole family comes over and we all see his body, pay our respects. And then he goes to a mosque because my family is Muslim. So we do things a little differently. So, all my family came. And I got to meet a lot of different family members, but it was just so hard. It was so emotional. And one thing that I don't really talk about is that it messed me up so bad to the point that I started smoking weed every day, multiple times a day to, just to calm myself down because I get visions, you guys, when I'm in the kitchen, because I can see this room from my kitchen. when I'm in the kitchen, I can see his hospital bed still, even though it's not there and you guys see it's not there. There's times where I see his hospital bed there. And I had this app on my phone that I got rid of because it like freaked me out, where you could talk to ghosts. And I went into that room and a ghost appeared right in front of me on the radar and was saying things that I know was Nana. It was saying things because, let me explain it to you guys. So in a Muslim funeral, which is usually done the day after a person dies because they don't believe in embalming bodies and shit. So at a Muslim funeral, you don't get buried in a casket. You get buried in the mud, like in the dirt, by yourself with no casket. So this ghost started saying things like feet in mud. And I was like, oh my God, bro. I was like, Nana. I wanted to just start, I got chills and I wanted to just start crying. And it was like in the exact side where his bed was too. So if that wasn't my Nana, I don't know who the fuck that was. It was just saying things like, oh, it was so hard. So, yeah, it's been a hard battle. And unfortunately, you know, he lost his battle, but that's okay. He's not suffering anymore. And as much as I would love to continue this video, I have to go because I have to get ready. I have to clean the house and kind of get ready because my boyfriend's coming over and my nanny is coming over with my cousin. I'm trying to spend a lot of time with my nanny because she lives in the house. And so she's surrounded by all his stuff and it just kind of messes with her emotionally. And like I said, I have PTSD from watching him die in front of me. So I kind of relate to it. So I want to, you know, bond with her. So who knows? Maybe we'll order a pizza tonight or something. I'm gonna trick my cousin into ordering a pizza. I'm gonna tell him like, you want a pizza? He'll be like, yeah. I'm gonna say, okay, go ask Nani. We'll say pizza kaiga, and then boom, we'll order a pizza. That's my plan. So yeah, I'm gonna go, you guys, and I'll probably give you guys an update later on. I don't know. I've just been so busy, you know, and like I'm a college student, so it's hard because I have to go to class, and you know, I have all these mental issues. But anyway, I'm gonna go and start cleaning. Bye.